Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Intab Campus Care Presents Panel Discussion. Panel discussion is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints on topics related to education and society. A topic for the day is personalizing learning using technology to adapt to individual student needs and their interest as well. And for the same, we have with us Miss Richa Vashisht ma'am, Principal of Police Modern Senior Secondary School, Mathura. A very warm welcome, Richa ma'am. Moving on, we have with us Dr. Kirti Sharma ma'am, Principal of Jesus Sacred Heart School, Ludhiana. Very welcome, Kirti ma'am.
Good evening, and I'm really pleased to be here. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening to all viewers, and good evening to you too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Then we have with us Miss Kanika Anand, ma'am, Principal of Arise International School, Pune. Very welcome, Kanika, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, speaking of personalizing learning and using the technology to adapt to individual students' needs and their interest as well, so we can, get a better outcome for online learning, ma'am. So, Kanika, ma'am, let's start off with the session, ma'am. What are some of the challenges that the teachers and you would also have faced, while trying to personalize learning for a particular student or multiple students? And do you believe that technology can, help to overcome these challenges, ma'am?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Uh, I believe that teachers' life is full of challenges, and every day is a new challenge for them. And COVID is a big example wherein, the teachers who had never used technology to teach, teachers who had rather never had any smartphones with them, uh, they also learned with time, and they took up the challenge, and how wonderfully and how well they did. So coming to your question now, that is there any challenge for the teachers for personalized learning? I believe yes, there are many challenges, because it becomes very difficult for a teacher to, without the help of technology, to plan lessons wherein each and every child benefits. Because say if there are 30, 35, 40, or maybe 45 children, or maybe for that matter 25 children in the classroom, all children are unique and they have their different mindset and their different needs. So it becomes very difficult for a teacher to plan the lesson according to each and every child. So yes, there are many challenges. And now I come to your next question, which is that whether I believe technology helps the teachers or can help the teachers in personalized learning. If you ask me personally, I also am, kind of old school who had never used technology much. Even till today, I feel really scared when it comes to, anything related to technology. So I have to have some help from my children or from my computer teachers, or, somebody who's really techno savvy. But then I believe that yes, technology definitely is helping teachers and will help the teachers in future as well. See, AI is a very big example. Apart from that, not just AI, but in our times when I was young, I used to watch this serial, English serial. I don't know if any one of you have watched that or not. I Dream of Genie, wherein this genie comes out of the bottle, and whatever you wish for, the wish comes true. So I think that is what technology is actually doing with us, is helping us, and giving us a lot of resources for the personalized learning and helping teachers in a good way. So yeah, I believe the technology definitely is going to help the teachers if taken in a positive stride, and if people are ready to learn. And anyhow, today's teachers need to be tech savvy. We have to be at pace with this generation, because these children, they say generation Z or alpha generation and whatnot. Of course, the teachers have this rather. I mean, I'll come to a next level of your question that you asked, that whether children face challenges and whether technology is going to help them. Rather, it will be a challenge for the teachers again to take the help of technology. It's not very easy for us, the teachers, but definitely, I think technology is there to help us out and help us in a better way so that personally the needs and the urges are taken care of. So, definitely, I believe technology is going to help and is still helping. Yeah.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Kanika ma'am. That was a very
Thank
well
you.
explained answer. And
Thank
Kirti
you.
ma'am, over to you. Kanika ma'am just mentioned that during the pandemic, how all we struggle to use the technology. Would you like to add something to ma'am, ma'am?
Um, I would just like to add on that, yes, the pandemics had been an eye opener to all of us, right? It made us feel that how backward we were in education. And, the way we all had to, stepped up and embraced the technology that has, carved a new path for the education. And there had been a lot of, tech companies, there had been a lot of support from all of them. I really, say hats off to all of them because it was them that we were looking towards, all these companies to come and support us. And it was during those timings that we realized how technology can actually enhance learning and how we can imbibe them in our own classrooms. Till today we are afraid of those times again, that those times should not come up again. So till now we have not left that technology, right? So I would just in short say, okay, as an eye opener, those pandemic times have taught us that yes, it is how we use them. Every school used to have a lot of technology in their classrooms, but we never knew how to use them effectively. We just use them to just show videos to the children, nothing else, right? Or we just use them to for our revision purposes, and we never knew that it can be something more than that too. It was, the pandemic's time who taught us that just showing videos or just having some revision tests all through those smart boards is not only the technology is much more than that. Technology is much more vaster than that,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And we had imbibed all those things in our day-to-day online classrooms and in our day-to-day online teachings, right? So again, thanks to all those people who are there in tech companies, and there you do a lot of job. I just share an experience with you all. Whenever an tech company used to visit my office before pandemics, right? I used to tell them, whatever you do, you cannot replace a teacher, right? I used to, say this very blunt sentence to all of them. Fine, but now, whenever they come up in my office, I look forward, like what new is coming up in technology. This is the change pandemics have brought in all of us, right? Where we were, shrugging them off, now we are embracing them off. So this is the time, I think, which pandemics time have taught all of us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very beautifully explained. And ma'am, I would just like to ask one more question. You were just mentioning that nobody can replace a teacher, but do you think technology here can, replace a teacher someday?
Technology, of course, very first of all, let us understand that we are talking in terms of school education. We are not because we all are school principals, right? So we are talking in terms of school education. When it comes to school education, children don't only learn the content, children learn through emotions.
Yes, ma'am.
Children learn through interactions, right? So it is not only the content delivery to these children. This content delivery can be more useful in professional upliftment of a person. Like for me as a professional person, if I have to uplift myself, right, I may not need a teacher. I may just need some technology to help me out, right? But the children who are in the age gap of 5 years to 18 years of age, I think they need a teacher itself in the classroom because it is through the interactions, discussions, emotions, feelings, and the social interactivity which helps in their formal as well as informal learning, right? So of course in school terms, if you say technology cannot replace a teacher, but it can be a big supporter to a teacher. Like for example, shoes are a big supporter to us to make us walk on a smooth road, right? Same way technology is a big supporter for a teacher to make the teaching go on a smoother road, but yes, it cannot replace a teacher.
Thank you so much, Kirti ma'am. Richa ma'am, over to you. Would you like to add something to Kirti ma'am? And also, ma'am, can you share some examples of how technology is currently being used to, personalized learning, as ma'am, already mentioned? And do you think it has, it has, what kind of impacts this has had on students' outcomes, ma'am?
Yes, I am completely agree with the KP ma'am. Very beautifully you can say is कि teachers technology as a tool, and no doubt is really a very fantastic tool for the teachers. But with the teachers learn inside the classroom, the feelings and emotions is also the part of teaching. So teacher, well, basically the technology is a very effective tool for content learning, no doubt. It's really very effective, but it's not the replacement of a teacher क्योंकि tool पे भी use teacher ही कर रहा है.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, ma'am. Moving forward, ma'am, can you share some examples of how technology is being used to personalize learning, ma'am, in the classrooms?
Classroom में there is so many actually ways. Graphically you can present so many contents, and जैसे कि आपका already question में दिया हुआ है कि how beautifully you can represent your content. तो आजकल इतने इंटरेक्टिव इतने स्मार्ट क्लासरूम्स बन चुके हैं कि वेरी ब्यूटीफुली यू कैन रिप्रेजेंट योर कंटेंट. आप कहीं से भी कुछ भी कनेक्ट करते हैं एंड यू कैन शो इन योर क्लास. तो टेक्नोलॉजी नो डाउट की बहुत वाइड है और बहुत कुछ अपने कंटेंट में ऐड करके टीचर क्लासरूम में दे रहा है, बट ये है कि इट्स अ टूल ओनली.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Richa, ma'am. Kanika, ma'am, over to you. Could you share some examples of how technology is currently being used? Because previously, how we grew up learning, we only had a diagram of, let's talk about science here. So we only had a diagram of our body parts. But now there are certain videos explaining how my heart works, how our body parts work, how is everything going on. So could you share some examples of this? And do you
Yeah,
think?
so
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Richa ma'am also what she said. That we have so many smart boards inside the classroom, and children get to visualize what they are learning, and they can see and they can feel and they can understand even 3D technology and whatnot. So apart from that, I think such deliberations which we are going for, I mean, we the principals, the leaders, and the teachers. So that also, I mean, I think it's the technology which is assisting us. Technology anyhow is helping us, but I have my strong doubts on one thing, which is that whether technology is going to mar our creativity. So that is what I fear. And apart from that, I agree with both the leaders that technology is never going to replace the teachers. That humanly touch, that emotional touch, and socialization which students learn. They learn when they come in groups in a school and they get to learn, they get to know their elders, their didis around, their bhaiyas around, and then their own friends. So of course, teachers are going to be there forever, and technology needs to assist us. We shall not be totally dependent on technology when it comes to our own creativity. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Kanika, ma'am. Kirti, ma'am, over to you. Would you like to add something to ma'am? And also, do you believe that educators can use the data to, maybe inform their decisions and uh, to, just decide that how to personalize learning for individual students, ma'am?
In fact, very first of all, I'll start with your second part of the question, that is data, right? For any educator, like me as a principal as well, the data is very important, right? Because right from the starting, we used to, collect data on the child progression, right? And nowadays, data is required not only for child progression or child's academic results, but data is also required that how much of competencies have been improved in the children,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Because this competency based education model now, right? So we just cannot judge the competencies of the children just by observing. There has to be a proper concrete data provided along with the evidences, which shows us that how much of competency progression is there in the children. So instead, those competent skills in the children, data is of course required. Like for example, whatever technology I use in my school is that we have a graphical presentation of the skills of the children, right? And those graphical presentation of the skills of the children tells us that what we need to improve in our teaching and what we need to inculcate more in our teaching. So that is actually very important, right? And otherwise, you just keep on moving towards an endless goal. That there is no goal, but we all are moving towards it. So to make your school or to make your children to move towards a particular goal, like I really do believe in skill-based education. So those skills are really required, and hence this technology. It is technology which helps us to understand that how much of skills are present in my children and how much more improvement is required, because I personally use it, so therefore I know about it. Now, how teachers, I'll just, quote certain examples from my own school only, that how teachers use this technology. My most of the teachers use this technology for, very first of all, homeworks as well, right? Because in case, there are certain children in the classrooms who are not able to cope up with the level of the class, or who are above the level of the class, it is both the cases, right? We have to tackle those children also who are above the level of the class, and who are below the level of the class. So they have some individualized homeworks which they keep on giving through these tech based companies or through these tech based contents, right? So they are very useful for all of us. And then collection of the homeworks, collection of the assignments, they are being done through technologies itself. Then learning management system, all LMS, they are really really very fruitful, because they create the content too. They help us to infuse our own content, and at the same time there are gamifications included, there are videos included, there are skill based competent tests included, which helps in making our education smoother and more on the modern lines. So this is how we use technology in our school.
Thank you so much, Kirti ma'am. Richa ma'am, would you like to add something to Kirti ma'am? I think Richa ma'am has lost the connection. All right. So Kirti ma'am and Kanika ma'am, Kirti ma'am was just mentioning about digital content. So I would like you ma'ams and the audience to uh, show a video. Now, moving forward, Kanika ma'am, in what ways in what ways the educators can use the technology to support student agency, ma'am, and also self-directed learning? And could you also mention some best practices already being used for the same, ma'am?
I think it's through edtech companies which are helping us as an entire itself. And apart from that, I guess that there are many ways and creative ways to use technology as well. And suggesting any way or certain way how to go about, I think it depends upon individual to individual when it comes to teaching as well, when it comes to learning as well. So there are various ways when it comes to creating your lesson plans, keeping in mind the individual need. When it comes to explaining a concept maybe through audio, video, or how your children understand all through playway methods. So technology can help us out in that way. And that is how we go about, and that is how what we do. So it has to be an amalgamation or a combination of technology and physically being present and understanding and practically doing that. So um, there has to be an amalgamation of head, hand, and heart when it comes to using the technology, keeping in mind that it does not overpower us, but it supports us. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Kirti ma'am, would you like to add something to Kanika ma'am?
When it comes to edtech companies, right, we really expect as an educator that they should add on to more and more creativity, so that creativity of the children should not be killed. The only thing why we are so much afraid of technology is that it should not kill the creativity. It should not become so monotonous to the children and so dependent on the young child should not so dependent on the technology that the child stops using his or her own brain, right? This is the only fear which I always have in my mind, and I really believe that tech companies should take care of the thing. Now, all those countries, which are too much dependent upon technology, have seen a downfall in the reading capability of the children, has seen a downfall in computational, aptitude of the children. Mathematics is a downfall in those children. Reading is a downfall in those children, right? Even then, there is an impact on then writing too, right? Of course, logical reasoning would have improved, fine. Understanding would have improved, but not the major overall things. So this is what I fear of, and I always believe that technology should be able to help us in this aspect as well. Yes, again, as ma'am said, okay, there has to be an alignment of head and heart and hands. When we work for the education, I really do firmly believe in the same statement, right? It is not only the head which we need to touch, we need to touch the hearts of the children as well, so as to so to have a complete education in his life. So this is what I believe for all these tech companies.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Lastly, Kriti ma'am, how do we ensure that this personalized learning that we are talking about is accessible to all of the students? Because there are students from rural areas. There are students who do not own a smartphone, a laptop. So how do you make sure that regardless of their backgrounds and abilities, this is accessible to all of the students, ma'am?
In fact, I hope this question was for me.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. So, in fact, I feel like that India is actually a country which is, in fact, working towards it, right? To make the educational universal education and to make education accessible to all. And again, the pandemic's times have been, blessing in disguise to all of us because government actually worked towards it. And if I ever compare every other country to with the Indian education during pandemic, I think we had excelled. That was a proud moment for all of us, right? Because it was a challenge for the government to reach to the core of the country, right? And government has reached there, right? फिर भी still, certain internet facilities are exactly not available. The gadgets are not available with many of the schools in our rural and semi-urban areas. Yes, we can work towards it, right? There can be hand in hand cooperation with each other. लेकिन फिर भी what I believe is WhatsApp has reached every corner of the country, right? The way WhatsApp uses low bandwidth of network, I think technology, tech companies and technology can also reach every corner of the country. It's only because WhatsApp was acceptable to masses, right? So therefore, all these companies, they work towards it to make WhatsApp accessible to every last person of the country, right? Similarly, I think we at tech companies, along with the educational educators and educational support from the government, if we all together work towards it, we can also make tech, accessible to every last person of the country.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Kanika ma'am, would you like to add something to Kirti ma'am? How do you ensure that the personalized learning is accessible to all of the students?
I strongly believe in one statement, that it takes the whole village to raise a child. So here again, what we all need to do is as a team, edtech companies, the government bodies, the telephone companies, and the internet services all need to work together when it comes to remote places because not everybody has a phone. Everybody may not have a smartphone, and we may assume sitting in a city that all our children have phones and TVs at home, but that's not how it works in the remote places. So I believe that even if remote places and in villages wherein children do not have much exposure to technology because they lack having a smartphone, then the schools there, and the school libraries can be open 24/7 for them with the tech supported atmosphere and the sitting wherein the children may read from the book or read from the computer and the PC or may have the internet access to reach wherever they want to and learn. So it has to be the whole village, the whole society who can work together to reach each and every child and make sure that no child is denied the technology support because it is the talk of the day and it is something which will take our children places. Because these days we talk about AI, coding, robotics, but how many children actually do have access? So that is how we need to function. So, yeah.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Kanika ma'am and Kirti ma'am, for being here today.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for taking out your precious time. And thank you so much
Thank you
again
so
for
much.
sharing your views
Thank
and
you.
experiences, ma'am, on personalized learning.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And for all the viewers watching us out, do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.